Listen, the world needs what you have. Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to Fearless Fridays. Today is Friday, September 10th. This is episode 102 of Fearless Fridays. As always, I welcome you to the show, whether it's your first time watching or you're a return watcher. Welcome, 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 welcome back. So listen, this is something that I want to share with you guys this week, something to ponder on. And this is something that I've actually said several times this week. I said it once to a friend, and then I said it recently. I did a IG live talking about my film Solomon's Mood, and there was something that was said there, something that I said that I want to share with the Fearless Fridays audience family. And what that is that the world needs what you have. There are so many of us with, I talk about it all the time, dreams, visions, ideas, goals, things we want to do. And those ideas are sitting dormant within us and we're not moving on them. And because of everything that's happening in the world, I think that this is something that's happening with a lot of people right now. I've even questioned myself on this. Because of everything that's happening in the world, we may look at the thing that we have, the idea that we have, the dream or the goal or the vision that we have, and we may say, well, in the grand scheme of things, my idea is not going to fix or save or change the world. There's so much happening in the world, and my idea, in the grand scheme of things, is not all that important to what's happening in the world. And I want to caution all of us, myself included, because I have had this thought many times, like, am I really doing something that's going to help people? Am I really doing something that's going to fix the world or change the world or even impact the world in any positive way? Is my idea, my dream, my vision important when we look at what's happening in the world right now? Is what I have important to the world? And the answer to that question is yes. And the reason that I know it's important is that it would not be within you begging to come out if the world didn't need it, if somebody in the world didn't need it, if one person in the world or a community of people in the world or a generation of people in the world didn't need it. It would not be on the inside of you begging to come out. One thing that I truly, truly, truly believe is that when an idea won't leave you alone, when something won't leave you alone, that little inkling, that little spark, when it won't leave you alone, that is that idea's way of begging for you to birth it. That idea knows that it is needed in the world, and it is asking you, begging you, pleading with you to let me out, to let it out. It's like a baby that's giving its mother contractions. That's the baby's way of saying, hello, I'm ready to come. I'm ready to come out. Let me out. And I believe the same thing about ideas that won't leave us alone. When an idea just won't leave you alone, you know it has to come out. You know you have to birth it if it won't leave you alone. And I also think that even if there's only one person who needs what you have, the space between you and that person, think of it as a canyon. Think of it as a wide canyon. And there's no way to get across that canyon. That idea is the bridge from you on this side of the canyon to that person or that group of people on the other side of the canyon. And the only way you get from one side to the other, or the only way that person or that group of people gets from one side to the other, is by that bridge. And that bridge is that idea. Whether it's a song, an album, a play, a film, a business idea, an organization, a book, whatever that thing is that's begging to come out of you, whatever that thing is that won't leave you alone, that thing is a bridge. Somebody needs that bridge. There is a reason why it won't leave you alone. Somebody needs it. Pardon me. Somebody needs it. Somebody needs that bridge. The world needs what you have. We need what you have. And again, I understand that if you look at whatever your idea is, and then you look at what's happening in the world, and you might think, this idea is not going to save the world. This idea is not going to help anybody. Of course it is. You have a song about love that's burning on the inside of you. There's somebody who needs to hear that song. There's somebody who needs to be reminded that they're worthy of love. There's somebody who needs to be reminded that there is someone out there who loves them. There is someone out there who needs that song, needs that book, needs that film, needs that play, needs that organization, needs that company, needs that business. There is someone who needs what you have. And the only way that person or that group of people is going to get what you have is if you let it come out. So the fear of, and it is a fear of whatever's inside of you not really being necessary or important, or the fear of failing at that thing, that's a fear that has to be confronted, and that's a fear that has to be stepped over, pushed aside, slid by, stomped down, defeated, so that you can do whatever it is that's within you to do, whatever idea that won't leave you alone. That fear, you got to knock that fear out of the way. Because again, I know that when an idea will not leave you alone, it is begging to come out. And when it is begging to come out, it will succeed. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean it's going to succeed the first time. It doesn't mean any of that. But what it does mean is that you pushing it out, you putting your hand to the plow, you doing your due diligence to get it out, that's the beginning of the work. And you will begin to see, once you begin to tell that story, once you begin to share that idea, once you begin to start that business, once you begin to do whatever you need to do to push it out, you'll begin to see that people actually need this. You'll begin to see that there are people who resonate with this idea or with this vision or with this plan or this dream or this business, this company, this organization, whatever it is. You will begin to see that there are people who need it, people who have been longing for it as much as you have been longing to push it out. So I'm going to say it again. We need what you have. The world needs what you have. And don't minimize it just because it doesn't necessarily look like it's going to fix anything. The fixing, you might not ever see the impact that it has, but it will have an impact. And I believe that if you ask to see the impact, once you start to work on it, you will start to see the impact. You will start to find people, or people will start to find you who need whatever it is that you're starting to do. Because trust and believe, if you need it, if you think it's important, if you think it's valuable or necessary, you're not the only one. There's somebody else who needs it. There's somebody else who wants it. There's somebody else who also sees it as valuable and necessary. But they can't see it as valuable and necessary until you do it. And they won't see it as valuable and necessary if it doesn't exist. The world needs what you have. Use that idea, use that dream, use that vision, use that plan, use that goal, use it as a bridge. Bridges last, I was reminded this by a friend today, bridges last generations. Bridges can last for generations. So imagine building a bridge today, and in 100 years, or even more, people are still being blessed by that bridge. People are still utilizing that bridge. People use that bridge to build another bridge. People use that bridge to find another idea that takes that bridge to another level. Maybe that bridge is the foundation for something. But though that's something, that bigger something that comes down the line, it can't come unless you build the bridge, unless you build that foundation, unless you cross that chasm or cross that canyon or that gulf. So the world needs what you have. Don't minimize your idea. If it won't leave you alone, that means it is ready to be birthed. And it's in you for a reason. It's your job to birth it. So that's what I have for y'all this week. As always, remember that the euphoria of fearlessness trumps the comfort of staying safe. Remember, the world needs what you have. Birth that idea. There's a reason it won't leave you alone. It is ready to be birthed. Because there's a reason for it. There's a need for it. There's a purpose for it. I'll see y'all next week. Happy Friday.